What's up, guys? One of my members just closed a $3,300 per month client, and I want to break down exactly what happened on the sales call because this shows you how deals actually close in the real world. If you're new here, my name is Saad. I run a $165K a month sales team agency. Before this, I was a nightclub bouncer, then a freelancer until I got banned with over 2K frozen, and that's when everything changed. So in this video, I want to show you two things: how this member closed this deal and exactly how he's going to deliver for his clients. This is the complete process you can copy, both getting the clients and fulfilling the work. So let's print some money. Client closed for $3,300 per month. Just closed another client, an accountant firm in the US. During the sales call, I gave him a quick rundown of how the system works. I asked about his goals, walked him through the steps, and booked a follow-up. Next call, after that, it was an agreement and then invoice sent. So week one was all research and then launched the first campaign on Monday, which was yesterday. So he posted about this. He said Monday. So it was like Tuesday, yeah. So it was 3 to 4 days ago where he posted this. And he actually posted like a follow-up post that I'm gonna walk you guys through because I believe there's like a bunch of gold nuggets that you guys can take and then implement right away. I believe it's in this is the one. Let me actually see. Yeah, okay, this is the one. Detailed version about the recent $3,300 per month. So we're gonna read through his post and I'm gonna explain exactly what made him succeed and actually what made the sale happen. So we'll just go ahead and read this. Okay, hey guys, I did mention this win in my last post, but someone commented I should write the details. Yes, so instead of replying to only that comment, I thought maybe I should make a new post so everyone can get some value. Of course, my friend, appreciate you. Prospect came from one of my data sources, LinkedIn, Apollo, Google Maps. Obviously, these are lead sourcing databases for you that you are watching this. LinkedIn is basically like everybody knows LinkedIn. It's a lead sourcing database for us, okay? Apollo, same thing. Google Maps, same thing. You can totally scrape Google Maps. You can scrape Google Maps for like local businesses and stuff, restaurants, chiropractors, dentists. So I don't even remember exactly which. Okay, this is a mistake. You always want to know where the lead came from, because when you scrape these leads, you want to know like which lead sourcing database so you can double down on it. For example, let's say you scraped LinkedIn, Apollo, Google Maps, and you don't know where the lead came from. Now we don't know what to double down on. So my advice to you that you are watching this, always make sure to document everything, okay? He booked the call. He was traveling. Connection kept dropping. I grabbed his number from the email signature and called him directly. On the call, after some small talk, I told him straight, this system is the same one that I wrote and sent you the email you respond to. I didn't even check your website yet, but here we are talking. Out of all the emails you get daily, you picked mine. Okay, that's interesting, right? That hit. He saw the point. Then I walked him through the pricing, $2,200 plus $150 per meeting or intro, or $3,300 flat fee with a 60-day results guarantee. Then I booked the follow-up meeting in the same call. This is exactly what I tell you guys. When you are in a call with an interested prospect, and okay, they are interested, you want to either close them right off the bat during the call, or you book the follow-up in the same call. You literally you share your screen and say, hey, let's book a follow-up right now, okay? Because when someone is hot, this is where you want to strike. I asked him available time slots. In the follow-up call, I shared my plan with him about how I'll write the copy, what tools I'll use, etc., etc. He thought about it for 5 days, then paid the invoice. Instead of showing a bulky 100-page presentation, I just simply say, the message you responded to was sent by the same system. Now, do you think it will work for you? If not, why? That's a really good line. Let the prospect talk and walk you through the dream state they want to achieve and present yourself and your solution as something that can help them achieve that goal. Classic. This is exactly what I talk about. You want to show them or make them envision the image of them winning when they are working with you. Okay? So it's kind of like bridging the gap, and your system is going to bridge the gap, all right? But the system is kind of like the vehicle. The end state of them winning is what you want to show them, okay? Sharing this so anyone starting out can see how deals actually close. Yeah, exactly. This is how actually, like, the deals actually get closed, not what other gurus are saying. And how simple it is. Don't overthink, just go with the flow. I got my first close after 50 sales calls, but I learned from every call, understood what exactly they need. How can I position myself slash the service as a solution that'll help them achieve their goals? Yeah, this is wisdom. I'll be launching new campaigns next week. Should have more wins to post in the next 2 weeks. And if you've got experience running cold email campaigns and can handle communication, reach out. Might be a room to collaborate. So he said that. So he essentially just says this to people inside because there's like a multiple people that actually like partner, etc., which I think it's really, really valuable. So we can definitely pick a lot of golden nuggets from this post, guys. What do you guys think, right? Let's go back here. And by the way, I want to show you guys someone. You guys remember the 19 years old who made like 30K MRR? He was like a 30K MRR like 4 months ago. He just made 43K in the last 30 days, which is insane, right? This is like his yeah, because he's Spanish, so he made 43K. And I believe like a big reason of this, because we now me and him, we hop on like a monthly call. I offer something called one-on-one intensives, which is basically like a 60-minute every month where I basically just scale people who want to scale, right? He was at 30K. And then we started doing these monthly calls, and now he is at 40K. So this is my comments here. Looks like the private monthly calls are paying off, huh? 40K MR is beautiful. Yeah, these are the meetings that he is currently booking. It's interesting. We have this GIF, which is pretty funny. And by the way, if you're wondering, like, how did he do this? He essentially just used like a simple. Let me grab my extension here that I just downloaded for you guys so I can explain. So essentially what he's done is let's say he made 30K. Okay? Let me grab my pen. There we go. Here's my pen. So he made 30K in like a month, okay? Now what I told him is try to consistently make 30K for the next 1 to 2 all the way 3 months, because what people want to do is let's say they make 30K this month, they try to get 40K or like 50K next month. Now this rarely happens because this 30K MRR might not be your actual MRR, might be like a spike in sales, etc. Maybe you had more meetings, maybe you sold your AI sales systems more this month, so you had more sales essentially. So what I told him is try to consistently make 30K consistently next month. And then once you do that and you stabilize, then you can think about scaling. Because this idea of like, I'm going to make 30K this month, next month I'm going to make actually 40K. It rarely happens. So you want to be realistic, right? So congratulations to him, right? 40K at like 20 years old. That's insane. When I was 20 years old, I was punching people in the face as a nightclub bouncer, right? And also this thing that we added, which is Battle of the Masters. We're in a free make.com yearly account. So I just kicked off like this new competition, like a series of competition where I would basically like include AI automation exercise, like copywriting exercise, sales exercise, and people who win, they get, for example, a free make.com yearly account, instantly account yearly, Apify account, enrichment platforms account for like a year with like 60,000 credits. So it's really fun because members get to essentially get something and also sharpen their sword and sharpen their skills. But anyway, so let's just go back to our member who just closed $3,300. Okay, and then let's talk about what you can learn from this deal. So when he was explaining, you guys noticed that he didn't use any fancy presentation. He kept it simple. So you want to do the same. He didn't have any 20 case studies like everyone says. You need tons of social proof, crazy social proof to get people to pay you 3K, 5K. Again, big lie. So what he's done, he just used the system as proof, okay? He said literally, just this system got you on this call. Want the same for your business. So I think this is like the greatest or like the fastest growth hack you can use. And I talked about it in like probably last video. Maybe if you're watching this, just go through my videos, you'll understand. So what you want to do is basically get results for yourself and use them as a case study or social proof, okay? You just prove the system on yourself, you book a few intros, and then you go to the prospect and say, hey, this is exactly the system that got me in a call with you, okay? So when he got on a call, again, he instead of like pitching features, okay, this NA10 sales system, etc. Here's exactly what he said. He said, "This system is the same that wrote and sent you the email responded to. I didn't even check your website yet, but here we are talking. Out of all the emails you get daily, you picked mine." So essentially, this is exactly the connector system. This is like the connector approach, the connector angle, right? He's not selling them a tool. He's showing them it already worked on them. So the system connected them to the call they are on right now. Then he had a very simple pricing setup, no overwhelm. So 2200 setup plus 150 per introduction, or a 3000 flat fee with 60-day guarantee. Simple, clear, no confusion. Obviously, you want to have like a good price in your mind when you are going into a sales call. Ideally, you would have your PandaDoc or like proposal. I use PandaDoc if you're wondering. PandaDoc is really good because you can integrate it with Stripe, and they can essentially just send them the proposal, and then they can click on one button and they get redirected to your Stripe checkout page. Very frictionless, very easy. So they read the proposal, okay, sign, boom, then pay, boom, and then that's it. Okay, so it just lowers the friction, lowers the steps for the prospect, so they can essentially just pay you, right? Because when you add so many steps, well, now you have to think about it, okay? So you don't want to have that. So let's talk about other things, all right? So what he's done, okay, is this is like the high level strategy, okay, yeah, that you can use, all right? So first, he led with proof, not promise, which means he made the prospect realize the system already worked on them. So why wouldn't it work for them now? Okay. And third, he positioned himself as someone who brings results, not someone who builds tools. Okay. Because you got to realize that people or business owners, when you talk about your AI automation, okay, they're going to be like, okay, that sounds cool, but what does it get from me? Is it more money made? Like, what is it? Okay. So not the tech itself, but the result or the payoff or the outcome of the tech. That's what matters, right? So this is called the connector approach, which is like a method that I came up with when I scaling my process, which is my sales agency to 45K a month. And then I was like, I need to lower the cost. So how do I bypass and be better and essentially just dominate the space, the AI automation space? So I came up with something called the connector angle. Okay. And it really does beat the traditional lead gen or like AI automation agency that is very generic. And essentially what it means in simple terms is that you're not a vendor pitching services. You're the person who just showed you can connect them with their ideal clients, kind of like insider knowledge. Okay. You're just a middleman. Okay. So this is what he's done and what made him close the deal. So you guys can just copy this and implement it on your own. Okay. Now, let's talk about the high-level strategy because now we understand how he got his clients. But now let's talk about how he can deliver for his clients and actually fulfill for them so he can retain them, right? And get them to pay him multiple thousands of dollars every single month for a long period of time. Okay, so the high-level strategy for him is he's gonna look for the perfect clients for the accounting firm, which is again his clients. So that means other businesses that need help with their money and taxes. Okay, this is exactly what his client provides. So it's not going to be generic lead scraping. It's going to be strategic prospect identification. Okay, which is sort of like what I teach and exactly how I run my 165K a month sales team agency. The next thing is he will start his outreach campaigns for the firm. Okay, he's not making a chatbot. Okay, he's not buying the domains. He's not buying the infrastructure. He's not like doing their outreach on behalf of them. Well, he is a connector, so he uses his own infrastructure and be the basically the connector, the middleman between X, the clients, and Y, their ideal clients. Okay. Think about it like a middleman. So he's not making a chatbot. He's not building some crazy workflow, right? Or complicated tool that doesn't help any business. Well, he's helping them talk to real businesses that need accounting help, stuff that actually make money and stuff that actually move the needle. And then he built the sales system to send out the messages. The cool part is the system that I'm gonna show you guys is already like a plug and play, so he doesn't have to reinvent the wheel. I'm obviously gonna share it with you guys so you can just use it, whatever. But the system is gonna write simple but smart emails that explain how the accounting firm can help with money problem. And then the accounting firm doesn't have to see any of the tech stuff because they truly don't really care, right? What they see is new people booking calls saying, hey, I saw your message about helping with taxes, whatever service they offer. Okay, so this is called, like I said, the connector approach, acting like a bridge that links the accounting firm to their perfect clients. He's not just selling fancy tools, he's bringing them real customers, okay, which justifies the 3K, okay? So when you listen to someone say, hey, you can actually sell this AI proposal generator or like AI agents for, I don't know, $50,000 and they're still living on their mom's basement, just run to the hill, okay? All right, so I'm gonna walk you guys through the delivery strategy because it took me probably like an hour to write this entire thing because it's very, very optimized for his case. And maybe you are watching this and wondering what the fulfillment strategy is gonna be like. Maybe you close a client in like an accounting firm client, you don't know how like to fulfill. So the target is gonna be small to medium businesses, SMBs that need accounting services. Classic. These accounting firms, they usually work with small businesses if you really, really, really think about it, right? And then the position is going to be connect the accounting firm with businesses that have accounting pain points, okay, that need their services. So the infrastructure setup, okay, for him is he's going to use 5 to 7 domains and he's going to set up 15 inboxes, okay, 15 to 20 inboxes. 15 is the sweet spot. 70% Microsoft, 30% Google through scaled mail. Okay, I'm going to add scaled, not scale. Scaled mail. That was a typo. Okay, you might be wondering, Saad, why 70% Microsoft, 30% Google? Reason why is because he wants to optimize deliverability. Like the leads are going to be using Microsoft inboxes. Now, when you send from Google to Microsoft, you might land in spam. But if you want to really dial in your deliverability, you want to make sure you send from Microsoft to Microsoft. Okay, so for example, let me explain this for you. So we have Microsoft send to Microsoft, and then Google send to Google, and then Google send to others. Okay, others mean just like Zoho Mail. There's like service providers, Proton, email service providers, and then other things such as not Outlook. Outlook is Microsoft. Yahoo, yeah, Yahoo. So all of these platforms, okay? But Microsoft has to send to Microsoft. This is the reason why. And his leads, the leads that he's going to scrape or reach out to, they all use Microsoft, which is the reason we implemented this strategy. And then obviously he's going to warm the inboxes for 2 weeks while completing the other setup tasks. Now, this is the real juice, the Apollo filters, the targeting, because we need a precision targeting, okay? It has to be very, very, very dialed in. So the industry is going to be e-commerce, construction, healthcare, professional services. Company size is going to be from 10 to 100 employees, revenue 1 to 20 million. Keywords is going to be either expansion, growth, and new location. These are all pain signals you can use. The job title is going to be owner, CEO, founder, or CFO, or finance director. Because the reason why I included a finance director is because we're also going for these companies because we're going 10 to 100. So 10, ideally you want to talk to the founder, CEO, or CFO. Finance or director, because we're still including 75 companies that have like 75 employees. Usually you want to talk to the finance director. So we're basically just casting every persona that we can talk to. Persona is basically the job title, fancy way to say job title. Location is going to be the US. We're going to exclude companies with accounting firm or CPA in description, obviously. And then the step 2 is going to be connect through copy development. So building the copy. Yeah, you see here we have batch 1, e-commerce focus. I'm going to explain this shortly, but the first email is quick connection for company name. Hey, first name, saw that company name is growing in the, for example, space. So I wanted to connect you with an accounting firm that's really good at things like tracking inventory and handling sales tax. They've helped similar companies save 27K annually through proper e-commerce accounting systems. Are you currently satisfied with how your accounting handles multi-state sales tax obligations? This is a quick question. And then this is where I'm going to explain the batching system, like the batching technique. So you see multiple people in this space. They're like, cast a wide net, reach out to 20,000 people, spray and pray. That's the biggest mistake you can make. You do not want to listen to these people. You say, okay, just buy these domains, okay, and then scrape 20,000 leads, and then just reach out to them, all of them with like a generic offer, generic copy. Now that's dumb, okay? That's very stupid and like very, very stupid. And let me explain why. See, when you use something called controlled batching, you implement something called systems thinking. What is system thinking? Now, let's say, for example, you have a list of, for example, let's see, 10K leads. Okay? You have 10K leads. Now, if you decide to reach out to all of them, and let's say you don't get that many responses, you only get like 0.5 response rate, okay? Well, now you burn through the entire list and you don't know you don't know what worked and what doesn't. And now you have to scrape another 10K. But if you want to be smart about it, okay, and this is like the actual way to do it, you pick just 400, okay? And then you test 1 to 2 angles, all right, on this batch, okay? Once you get, for example, 2% reply rates, well, you double down on the exact vertical they replied. For example, if someone replied, hey, I'm interested, you go ahead and scrape another 400 from this exact same sub niche that replied. And then that's how you scale. That's how you systematically scale. Not just by sending thousands of emails like a generic lead gen agency, like the just spray and pray. This is a big mistake. Okay. Now let's say you send the first 400 and it flops. Okay. Well, now you still have another 400 where you can basically just tweak the angle. Just tweak it. You change the subject line. You change the hook. You change the CTA. And now you've increased the reply rate, for example, from, let's say it flopped and it was 0.5%, and now it became 2% or like 1.5%. Well, now you know what worked. You know, it was just an angle or like a copy issue, not the lead list. But now if you decide to reach out to 10K like at once, well, you just burned the list and now you have to redo the entire work again, right? So this is called controlled batching, and in his case, I already like lowered the formula. So start with 400 leads across 4 industries, so just 100 each, because it's not about like quantity, it's about quality. Okay, this is what I mean by connector system. You don't just spray people, right? And then you want to send 15 inboxes, so 25 to 30 emails per inbox. Ideally, just 27 per inbox is like the usual recommendation and exactly what I use. And then you want to track performance by industry segment. Okay, you want to like by industry, so you know which industry actually works for the client, and then you can double down on it. Okay, so now since we have the strategy here and you understand the strategy, let's just go ahead and show you the sales system that we're gonna use. It's already plug and play, so the only thing we have to do is basically just build the list, send the list to the system. The system's gonna handle everything, and then we're just gonna wait and drink some coffee. All right, so this is the system that we're gonna be using. This is the high ticket Apollo system. I've showed this twice in this channel. I use this to get myself clients in a live demo that I recorded a couple days ago. And then I also built it live in front of you. So if you're wondering how to build this entire thing from scratch, just make sure to check out some of my past videos, or maybe I can just link it in the description, okay? So this system is just waits for the data. It's basically like a type form where you just fill out the form by the link of the lists, and then it's going to run a scraper and amplify. Once the scraper is going to finish, it's going to get the data, filter the missing leads, combine data, generate personalization. But in our case, do we need personalization? Let me see. I don't think we need any personalization. Saw that company name. Okay, so we're just going to delete this. So what is this? I think this is cleaning the company name. Yeah, okay, clean the company name. So we don't need the copy. We're just going to delete it. And then I'm going to have to fix a couple things here. Okay, so since it's not going to happen, we're going to delete this. Okay. And then append, personalization. Let's see. Okay, we're going to delete this. And then that's pretty much it. Let me just save this. Okay. And then we're using an email finder to verify the emails, because when you scrape leads from these lead sourcing databases like Apollo, like I'm going to show you shortly, you want to verify the emails because people change jobs. But in our case, I'm not going to use an email finder. I'm going to use this new platform. It's called, well, not new. I used this before. It's called Prospeo. And in fact, I'm actually going to buy the yearly plan right now because, like I said in the beginning, I just introduced these new competitions where people can get basically free tools for like a yearly plan. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to buy it now and actually use it. Okay, I'm going to use a couple credits. I'm going to buy the highest one, like the most expensive one, the yearly. Okay, it has 600,000 credits. So email finder, I mean, the email finder is we already have this in our platform. It's called SSM Masters. But I think it's a great add-on. Okay, it has the mobile finder, domain search, and also has like a Chrome extension, API access, bulk process, and team feature. Okay, so I'm going to get this. I'm I'm gonna buy it right now and I'm gonna use it. Okay, so it's $3,000. Interesting. But I mean, who cares, right? It's $3,000, so I'm just gonna pay for it right now. I mean, think about it. Like, it's so interesting how back then I used to look at these platforms and like it was very tough to like pay the $150 per month for these email enrichment platforms. But now that I'm buying like the 4K, like 3K, 3,096, and it's nothing for me right now. So interesting how life changes, right? So now that you are watching this, trust me, like the breakthrough is coming, right? You might be in like a tough spot right now financially, or maybe you're making a bit of money. You're making like 3 to 4K, maybe even 6K, and you want to make more. Trust me, it's gonna come because there's like, yeah, like I always say, like there's years and like there's months and years where nothing happens, and only weeks and days where everything happens. So, I could probably buy a car with this. What do you guys think? Like a car, what you can do with $3,000? All right, but anyways, I'm just gonna plug my credit card real quick. And as much as I'd like to show you guys my credit card, I'm not gonna do it, right? So I'm just gonna get my phone and then I'm gonna plug in my credit card right here. All right, done. It's 600,000 credits. And what I'm gonna do is this is the one that I'm gonna give away in the community. So it's really good actually. Let's see. So full name, let's try my name and then company.com. So Maya process, find email address. Oh, they found it. Okay, great. Sweet. All right, awesome. So now I believe they have an API here. If I go to account, so resets in 365 days. Okay, sweet. So they already charged me 1 credit. How rude. So I'm gonna copy this, and I believe there's a Prospeo here. Let's see. Is there Prospeo? No, they don't have that. So it's probably gonna be an HTTP request. I'm gonna have to rotate this API key after I finish recording this video. So see documentation. Okay. Email finder, email verifier API. Okay, this is the one. Can we copy this? Is there a way we can copy this just like the usual way? Okay, that's annoying. Anyways, so I'm gonna add an HTTP request here. So the method is what? Posts. Okay. So method posts. And then this is the request URL that we're gonna have to ping. So posts, put this here, and then X key. Okay, X key, it's the header. Okay, we're gonna add the header here. And then API key, copy it, and then go back, put it here. What else? And then, okay, the body is email equals. Okay. Okay, so send body. We can either go for like put email here and then the like the email and the value of the email, or we can just use a JSON and put it here. And let me just copy the value here. There we go. And then I believe they also have something called batching, so you don't get rate limited. So I'm gonna paste this here. Wait. There we go. Oh no, we have to close this. Okay, batching is gonna be, so how many in any mail finder? I'm pretty sure it's similar. 50 every 300 ms. So we're gonna do the same then, just for our sanity. Okay, and then I'm gonna unlink this, unlink this, unlink this, remove this, put this here, and then connect this to output 2. And this is gonna be verify email. Okay, sweet. And now that you are watching this, you can totally use Prospeo, or you can use any mail finder, whatever, to just verify the emails. Okay. And then I believe that's pretty much it. Let me save. Yeah, okay. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go to executions. I'm going to leave it here. Okay. And why we have an error here? Why do we have an error? Probably pass runs here. Anyways, so I'm going to go now to Apollo and I'm going to build the list. Okay, I'm going to go here and then I'm going to start building this list with you guys. Log in. By the way, do not need to pay for Apollo. Never pay for Apollo. I think it's sort of dumb to pay for Apollo because you can scrape Apollo, right? And this is just like a free account, right? So let's go here and see. Let me just delete this. So e-commerce, construction, healthcare, professional services. Let me delete all this stuff. So I'm going to put founder. Obviously, it's going to be a huge list. I'm not going to scrape a huge list because like I always say, always scrape in batches. Or maybe you can scrape like a huge list and then just split it, like I said. Okay, you can split it. You get 400, you start using your batching technique. Okay, so 10 to 100 employees. So it's going to be... So all the way to 11 to 100. 10 is like 11, same thing. Industry and keywords, so professional services. Do they have professional services? Okay. Professional services. So Apollo just keeps changing their entire UI. So healthcare, let's just start with healthcare. Health, wellness, hospital and healthcare. Construction, I believe they have construction here. Construction. And it's going to be already like a huge list. Okay. So we're going to stick to construction because it's already a big list. Okay. And then we're going to go to company keywords, include keywords such as expansion. Obviously, this is like the big strategy, right? Okay. So growth. So these are keywords that they are mentioning. So growth. And then what do we have? New location. It means they just got a new location. Okay. And then we're going to exclude accounting firm. Exclude accounting firm, obviously. And then we're going to also exclude CPA. CPA. Okay. And then we're going to add a couple more. So owner, finance director. Oh, that's already a lot of leads. Okay. Finance director. People don't understand that you can make tons of sales just by going for like a 600 lead list, like 600 leads and like a lead list. You do not need like thousands. That's spray and pray. You spray and then you just pray. Wonder where they brought this term. It's like an old term. Okay, so I believe that's pretty much it. I think this is already enough, right? I think that's already enough, yeah. So now I'm going to go to the type form, which is going to be type form. I believe it's Apollo flow. Okay. And then copy this entire thing. And then sounds good. Paste this here. And then let's scrape the entire thing, which is going to be 777. That's an interesting number, isn't it? So now, when I'm going to do this, wait, let me check if the editor is everything is good. Okay. So now I'm going to launch this by clicking on submit, and then it's going to run. Check this out. It's going to run right now. There we go. So it's running, which means we received the data and we're scraping the data. we receive the URL and we're scraping the data. Okay, so I'm gonna go to Epify, and then I'm gonna show you guys the run that is currently running in the backend. So if I go to runs, okay, it is running. There we go. So already scraped 200. And by the way, I forgot to do something very, very, very important. I need to do this quickly. I already have a list here that's going to be populated, so I'm going to have to delete it. This is like the list. And then we're going to add a couple rows here, and then boom. Okay, already done. Okay, sweet. So it's going to be populated here. All right, once that's done. So 300 is very quick. Let me close these tabs, close this because it's already done. And then now everything is like the system is going to handle everything. We don't need to do anything. It was basically just watch the system working. Once the scraper is going to finish scraping, it's going to send the webhook and then verify the emails, all the emails scraped, add them to this Google Sheets and add them to our cold email software so we can just get started right away. So the only thing we have to do right now is basically just wait. All right, so we just finished. Okay, everything is here. Okay, sweet. Awesome. So you can see the company name is very clean. SoDesign.co or like SoDesign Co. Options, HMA, right? It's not those LLC weird LTD names, right? So let's just make this a little bit more aesthetically pleasing. There we go. We also have the verified emails, as you guys can see. And let me check instantly. Oh, I forgot to add something. Before this, I actually created a campaign, which is going to be, this is not the right account, is it? Okay, it's the right account. If you go to leads, oh, we already added the leads. Okay, so I forgot to add this part. What you want to do, okay, you go back here and you see this code. You want to create a campaign in instantly, which is going to be your cold email software by going to campaigns, add new, and there we go. Continue. And this is going to be campaign, before campaign, or after campaign, and before leads. You copy this entire thing, then you go back here to the code, and then you simply just paste it here. Okay, this is how we do it. So let's go back to our campaign here. So we already have the leads added. There we go. Awesome. Everything is good. Well, now the only thing we have to do is basically just plug the connector copy. Control C, paste it here. And then now we're going to do, hey, first name, saw that company name is growing in the X space, depending on the space that he's going to go for, right? In your case, you're just going to plug the space. So saw that company is growing the X space. So I want to connect you with an accounting firm that's doing exactly this. And this is where you're going to put your name, for example, viewer. And then the subject line is going to be quick connection for company name. Quick connection or quick connect. That's it for company name. More casual. So if I preview, hey, Carla, saw that ICON is growing the X space. So I wanted to connect you with an accounting firm. Everything is good, right? I'm going to add send from my iPhone. The reason why is because it just adds that personal touch, because now people are reading through the email and they're like, wow, okay, like this is like this person actually researched me and they sent this, they sat down, they wrote this using their phone. Let's check this. Everything is good. We have the leads here, and he essentially can just start his campaign. There we go. So as you guys can see, we tackled everything, how he got his client. We explained the delivery process, etc., the high level strategy. So you can essentially just copy this and get up and running yourself. Okay. Now, the only thing you have to do is essentially just get out there, take action. I believe in you, and I'll talk to you soon. Peace.